Okay, my name is Sally Menzella. I'll spell it for you, M-E-N-D-Z-E-L-A. Okay, I read the Department of Health draft, and it's an interesting combination of highly technical information and sort of oatmeal-y, non-opinion making nothing. So my comment, and I mean, I understand it's a difficult process. You have all the different departments, all the different issues that people have to respond to. I get that. But what I've done is, in the areas where I had a specific question, I'm not anticipating an answer. It's just a consideration for you as you go into your final document, that you'll have documentation that there are certain questions that you have not taken into consideration with the answers that you've provided so far. Okay, in terms of noise, a quote that you had in the draft says, there is a substantial variation among people in sound perception. Now, that being true, we can assume that anyone reporting an issue with noise that is negative is actually reporting what they determine that they are hearing. And this could be for a variety of reasons. It could be, the variance could be due to neurological anomalies ranging from cultural differences as well as tolerance to noises within their own homes. So it's highly subjective. Regardless of how many charts you have in the appendices, it remains subjective. There's no way that you can say definitively that someone is having a legitimate noise complaint or not. Okay? My recommendation is that you might want to recommend to Invenergy that they pipe in music over the town to mask the noises. This could be done by referendum, so everyone's taste could be taken into account on a rotating schedule. In the water area, in your summary, the first sentence in paragraph 2 has to do with the MTBE. And my question is, what does the phrase regarding withdrawals of MTBE, what does the phrase "not a concern at this time" mean? Does that mean that things have to go horribly wrong before you would have a different opinion? I would have the expectation that how water would supposedly be cleansed of the MTBE would be significant to your opinion. Has it been done before? My understanding from what Invenergy has told us in the past is this particular type of cleansing and re-releasing into the water has not been done before. I've also been told by people that the carbon cleansing is in fact inadequate and that they should be looking at something like nitrogen flushing, which is done in the Netherlands, supposedly. Also, what will happen with the dirty water? Okay, is it going to be released into the Clear River? And if so, that's something that you need to respond to. You need to have an understanding. If that gets into the aquifers and if it's not properly cleansed and if something else happens to it during this process where it's used for cooling, what are the health ramifications? There's nothing in your draft about this. Ammonia. Okay, so 40,000 gallons of ammonia stored. How often will tankers be delivering their payload? Okay, there's no reference to that. And who is responsible for leaks or explosions of tankers that are off-site? There's mention of the fact that the peril is within so many feet of the boundaries of Invenergy. My question is, if it's coming into the plant and something goes wrong, what are the dangers to the people living in the area and who's responsible for taking care of that? Hydrogen. Is there a hydrogen control system backup in the compressed hydrogen storage? What's the worst possible scenario? You don't have anything about that in the draft. It would seem to me that you should be looking at what is the backup. And how does the vent system work, which is referenced in the hydrogen pressure release system? How is it released? Where does it go? You just mentioned that there's a vent system. I'm kind of curious about that, as I'm sure we all are. And in terms of climate change, it seemed to me as if the statement that you have about that was done by committee, because it doesn't say much. It's sort of like, why equivocate? You're not being asked to render an enforcement policy. You're simply being asked for your opinion. And so what possible healthy outcomes could we expect from a plant that burns fossil fuels? Why can't you just come out and say that there's no possible benefit to the people in the area or the entire state or the region from burning fossil fuels?